Welcome everyone back to the Europa Games Orlando 10K. We're live here from Orlando, Florida, currently in the midst of our $10,000 Infinite Warfare tournament. We do apologize for our issues in our last series that actually took place between UMG Gaming and Eros. I had a little bit of a connection problem, a little bit of an issue with the power cables and stuff like that, but we're good to go now. We are ready. We're back in action. I got a suit on, so I feel a lot better. Not really. It's a little bit hot, but it's fine. UMG Gaming ended up actually losing that last one to Eros, so if you didn't actually hear the official update, Eros took that one in a 2-0 fashion, and now we're getting ready to hop into a series here in Winners Round 2 between Projekt Evil and AfterDark. So we're going to take a look at the rig draft really quick before we hop into our next match and see how things are lining up, as we will be hopping in here to Throwback Hardpoint for our first map of this best-of-3 series. Like I said, we are currently in Winners Round 2. The way that both these teams got to this particular position, Projekt Evil ended up having a bye. So this is their first matchup here at the Orlando 10K here for Europa Games. And AfterDark ended up taking down Precision, actually, in that Winners Round 1. So with that, looks like we got some time to kind of talk about how this map's going to play out, as well as the arsenal for both of these teams. And if you obviously did witness that last matchup, which is obviously the exact same map, so Throwback Hardpoint, Crusher, Search and Destroy, and if it comes down to a map 3, Uplink on Frost, with it, Throwback works, I mean, really just about any hill you can gain a lot of time on. Barn is going to be one to be looking out for, as well as toward back baseball field. Those are the hills that teams are going to be making sure that they have a lot of control of, making sure that they have a lot of opportunities to try and get as much time as possible. And a lot of hard points, most of the time, will consist of doing your best to lock down a certain hill. This map, really just about any hill that you can hold, can bring you back into it. So rotations mean a lot. Communication means even more. And it looks like for either side, quite a few K-bars. We got a few MV4s as well. Both teams obviously utilizing the nice little movements you can do. They're throwing some money out, but they feel good. Projekt Evil, we're starting off with you. Durpin looking through the eyes of this man. Currently has the K-bar in hand, throwing out a nade off the wall to start us off. Trying to find a few shots here, it seems. One will end up dropping. Two actually end up falling. And Tempo will as well. So with that, AfterDark will be getting a few early seconds here. 5-0 start for them. Practice style. Off to a 3-1 beginning. As it looks like both these teams are really doing their best to try and initialize some early control inside of middle. AfterDark will be able to do that. 3 actually go down for Durpin and Hugs. They'll combine for a few. As now Projekt Evil look to get back into this one. But of course, realizing that that rotation over toward Barn is very, very important. Durpin currently sitting inside of middle, trying to watch it down. Still a lot of valuable time actually being awarded to them. Nades and just about everything else start to follow through. Tempo, Projekt Evil off the start. It looks like Crazy will end up dropping. Impulse realizing that rotation over toward Barn is very crucial. Watching that one over toward field. The push getting ready to come in here from the side of Projekt Evil, but Impulse will end up falling, so the first line of entry is now shut down. Crazy toward the back. Nice gunfight one there from him. Needs to reload, needs to get some help as well. Tossing the nade out to try and save himself some time, but unfortunately will push out of that situation. It's not going to leave Prac Style by himself. Tempo combines for 2, and now Projekt Evil have control. So what seemed like a really good rotation for AfterDark turns into an immediate overtake there from the side of Projekt Evil. Tempo currently inside of the hill, realizing that push toward his spawns are very important. He'll combine for 2. He wants the third though, but Lip Zeus is going to be there. And they'll continue to lock this one down. So major props, obviously, to the side of Projekt Evil, as they'll have 4 down yet again. Tempo so excited, he ends up killing his teammate. But here come the rotations over toward that bike path. Tempo residing inside of middle, trying to go on an early flank to try to get a potential pinch off the start as Barn will end. Player toward that toward that back bus area will be shut down. And the kills will start to rain in. AfterDark just really completely caught off guard, not really being that much aware of where the other, or really of the opposition is at. You can just see by the communication, or the lack of communication is definitely showing just due to them not watching certain angles, not holding certain places, and them getting pinched on a hill like that. That is not something that you're normally going to see. And Tempo, 7 spree for him. We've seen many sprees actually in our first 2 matches, and looks like Lisp Zeus making his own mark. 6 spree for him right now. Definitely giving the edge toward his squad for right now. Nearly turns on 1, but Prac Style will find 2. So some light at the end of the tunnel for him, trying to respond with a few more. This is some big time that AfterDark needs to grab And honestly, at this point, they need to send a few people on that rotation right now toward that back baseball field. So Projekt Styles, the boys from AfterDark, will begin to make their push. Projekt Evil already here. Hugs will drop. Zeus is here, able to find at least one. Tempo now. The last line of defenses, he will also drop. So a nice one rotation for AfterDark. But how long will they be able to hold this one for? Constant pressure, constant gunfights going down for Projekt Evil. Being a nuisance, constantly being in the face of AfterDark. Impulse nearly jumps over one. A nice two-piece there coming in from Zeus. As him and his teammates will now take this one back over. So nice plays coming in from either side. Very competitive matchup to this point, despite the lead deficit. But Projekt Evil just happens to be getting some really, really good timing, and gunfights won in their favor. Zeus definitely being one of the major factors, him and Tempo, as to why they had the lead that they do. 15-6 for Zeus already. Tempo 13-7. Let's give some love to AfterDark, though. See what they can potentially produce. It's Projekt Style and the boys from AfterDark look to try to make a rush for the final few seconds. They will be awarded potentially a good 2 seconds, but they're actually going to begin to go ahead and rush toward middle. So 100 to 50, a clear-cut game. Projekt Evil playing twice as good as AfterDark after that first that first set of rotations. As we reset here toward that train platform, going to be looking through the eyes of Tempo right now. Does have a few score streaks to work with. His team's snaking, and it looks like that Show Off is going to make him pay for that. 3 will fall. Hugs now. Trying to at least gain some information. While he can't really make a huge push here, at least he'll be able to find at least one. And he'll be able to be tagged up in the end. That's definitely going to give his teammates a little bit of communication and potential gunfight one in their favor. A team fight, really, one in their favor. Impulse towards stairs will help his teammates out with a few more shots. As train platform will begin to conclude. We'll be making our eyes and our line sight toward that barn. Projekt Style, obviously realizing such, is in a very valuable position. Really needs to try and stay up and maybe wait for his teammates to try to guarantee spawns. There's really no reason for him to try and challenge this at this point. And thankfully for him, he has won the spawns, and due to his interesting setup, he'll be able to be awarded at least 1 kill. He wants 2, though. Zeus has other minds in play, and Impulse will be there for the change. Tempo locking things down. He wants another 5 spree. Give me a 6 spree. 21-9 for him as they'll just begin to fall. Show Off drops from behind. Projekt Style rocks the FTL jump right in the air. Can he find the kill? He's able to find that one too. Projekt Style making things happen for his team. AfterDark trying to bring this one back. He's been everywhere inside a barn. And he's been locking down the time along with it. 25 seconds remain inside of barn. This is a very, very valuable hard point to hold, and Projekt Style is now left all by his lonesome, trying to hold this one down for his squad. Give me one, but unfortunately runs out of ammo. Impulse is going to be here. He'll drop as well. Rotation now toward bike path. It's going to be on everyone's mind, but AfterDark does not want to give away any free seconds, and somehow Crazy with the wild shots will get some help from his teammate as they will lock down the final few seconds. Interesting play as Crazy will get dropped from behind. And the boys from AfterDark will try and reset up. As we talked about before this matchup, any hill can bring you back into this map. If you lock it down on bike path, if you lock it down on back baseball field, any hard point has the potential to bring you back into a game, and we obviously saw by barn, AfterDark was able to make that happen. And they want to do some more here on bike path. Projekt Style being a major nuisance. MV4 in the skies. Zeus will call it a few streaks, and he'll make something happen, but shortly will fall. There from Show Off. As far as our scoreboard is considered, you can definitely see the side of AfterDark playing a more consistent overall game. The side of Projekt Evil definitely has 2 rising stars for the moment. Zeus 25-17, Tempo up to 22-13 as well. Both of them getting a lot of hill time. Show Off will find 2, locking down this one inside of the hill. As AfterDark getting closer and closer, constantly hanging on the heels of Projekt Evil. And now is the question. You start to see, actually toward that right scorecard, you can see those little circles, those half circles as well, those ones that are being filled up with white. Those are actually their payloads for those who are new to Call of Duty. Payloads can obviously produce a number of different things, whether it's a weapon or whether it's an ability. As you're going to see, actually, just as I say that, Zeus is in reactive armor. That could definitely be a huge factor. As far as how the game does go, actually goes for the rush, and he'll put a nice fist and Show Off there. Unfortunately, Show Off isn't able to stay alive for much longer. Nice plays there from Projekt, as they'll now take over baseball field for the time being. AfterDark with 2 down. Projekt Style coming from the side, actually completely is able to find an entry point. Goes for the 360, and give me that one too. Projekt Style making somewhat of an impact, trying to give his team some signs of life, and it looks like they might have actually done that. They need to make sure they have at least one person inside of the hill. 8 seconds left in baseball field before we reset the sides of the rotation, and AfterDark have definitely started to make a case for how talented they can be. So we're resetting. Rotation will come back toward train platform. Hugs trying to gain some time for his squad. Projekt Evil trying to hold on to the lead that they've had the entire game. AfterDark have made it close. They've come within about 30 seconds of them. Very close quarter engagement. Lipzeus will win that one. And they'll find another as well, being a major problem. Being a constant nuisance in the backside of AfterDark, as they have just not been able to find this guy. And he says, you know what, my team's not going to hop on the hill, I'll do it. I have no problem doing that. Fortunately, he'll have his life paid for it. Impulse will be there, 2 go down. Hugs will be able to find at least 1 before dropping. And now it's going to be Projekt Evil who are going to be awarded the good spawns for this next hard point. But that's a big kill coming in from Praxstyle. If he can stay alive in the situation, if his teammates unfortunately fall, then he can actually have good spawns for this next. Barnes tries to fire through the fence, but unfortunately the player will be tagged up, but not bagged up as of yet. Rotation into Barn. How can AfterDark bring this one back due to the nice MV4 play? They can make this one happen. Here comes Reactive Armor. Trying to shoot me, says Impulse, and they will actually do that. Tempo quick to shut him down. 31 and 18. Tempo putting the team on his back along with Lipzeus. This is a kill that he needs to have, but Showoff is going to be there for 3. Showoff doing what his name suggests, absolutely going off at the moment, has earned the active camo. AfterDark say that we are not out of this one just yet. We are still trying to bring this one to a close game. They could potentially tie this one up with this play, but Durpin and Tempo, all of them go big. 4 drop for AfterDark, and 1 will remain to try and challenge the last few seconds. Durpin will be there, and praising the boys, realizing the rotation is what they need to be in control of now. Projekt Evil, despite having very, very big leads, and now ones that have been slimmed down quite a bit, they have been holding on and playing consistent. AfterDark, you see all those players starting to stack up. A few of them begin to fall. You see all players from Projekt Evil, as Prazy will find 3. Have their payloads. Impulse rocks his, but Tempo will also drop there from nice shots from Impulse. Watching toward the backside, we'll give him a nade. Isn't going to actually be able to call that out to his teammates. So there's 1 player toward the bank. They need to make sure that they shut down that player. He's going to be there, and Impulse will be there for the response. So obviously calling that one out to his teammates. He'll lock down the remaining time potentially, but Projekt Evil, they need to force this one out. Question is, do they want to use their payload? Showoff actually has a teammate going there on Praxstyle, and he'll actually find 3. So despite killing a teammate, he'll make it happen, but active camo not going to be in usage there. AfterDark might actually be awarded the final few points here. As for the first time in this match, I believe they're actually going to take the lead, despite maybe for the first minute and a half of the game. Rotation coming in toward Bike Pass. Showoff rocks the active camo. This is a major payload that they are using right now. He needs to at least find control, or maybe even a gunfight. Other active camo gets rocked. Hugs will find that one. And give me 2, says Hugs. 4 go down. AfterDark are now going to be spawning up on the opposite side of the map. Projekt Evil with the perfect break. The active camo in some essences gets wasted. And now Lipzeus watching through that backside bowling is going to fire away a few extra shots. Can AfterDark trying to get some momentum? They've got to push their way forward. Showoff doing all that he can. As he will drop MV4 shots from range, as they've got to get into this hill. Projekt Evil can definitely win off this hard point. They only need 3 more seconds, and Praxstyle realizes he has to enter in. Crazy still has that Centurion, but he's not going to be able to use it. Most likely Showoff is here, but can he hold it down? Not able to happen. And the fist will, in the face, will end our first map as Projekt Evil will walk away with map number 1. 250 to 213. Give me 2. Give me 3. Lipzeus all around the hill. That is a nice final kill cam right there. That's going to be, like I said, Projekt Evil walking away with map number 1. It wasn't an easy victory, but it was a victory nonetheless, as they will now be up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. We're going to take a quick commercial break, though. When we come back, Projekt Evil and AfterDark will battle it out yet again in our Search and Destroy on Crusher for map number 2. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone, to Europa Games Orlando. We're currently in the midst of a fantastic series going on between Projekt Evil and AfterDark. Projekt Evil nearly took that game at number 1 on Throwback 250 to 213 after having some major performances from both Lip and Tempo, both dropping 40 bombs, as they definitely led their team to a pretty solid start in this series. Of course, if you guys are just joining us and are interested to see how the format is going, all of these are best of 3s. So every map means just much more, as we're going to be loading in here toward map number 2, S&D on Crusher. So if Projekt Evil were to win this particular map, that is the series done and dusted with. It'll be AfterDark who goes down to the loser's bracket. However, if AfterDark was able to win this one, then we will see a map number 3, and that one will be uplink on the map Frost. So with that in mind, now the stage is set. It's time to see what exactly both of these teams are rocking. Looks like we're going to see a few K-bars, potentially some MV4s, some E-Rads. Seems to be. And looks like a nice little sniper there from Show Off. Obviously rocking the Oni right now, but interested to see how he's going to obviously hold this one here off the start. And when it comes down to a map like Crusher, we've seen it in our past series, but if you're going to go over to the A site for offensive hits, you're looking for a very aggressive play. If you're going to go over toward B, you're thinking about maybe a little bit of a longer one, trying to find those first bloods and trying to make a little bit of a slower opportunity. So based on whichever bomb site they go to is how aggressive they feel like on being. This is a very interesting strategy right now from Projekt Evil. Essentially what they're trying to do in this particular spot is trying to bait out the side of AfterDark, making them think they're going to the opposite side, when in reality, they have sent their most valuable person, their most really kind of unnecessary person over toward that side, and actually the bait is going to work out. So very interesting play from Projekt Evil, kind of act as a massive shield to prevent them from being able to find Zeus. So early shots starting to come out. Projekt will find the first blood. Zeus firing from away, waiting for his teammate support to come in. Shots from afar. The sniper play will come in here from Show Off. Trying to find a little bit of a line sight wall run on point, potentially, as 2 will fall. 1 comes in response, so now it's going to be a 1 versus 3. 1 player going to be on the bomb. Tempo needs to go big, and he's able to actually find 1. 1 player's going to be there, and Crazy, despite that, is going to be able to get the defusal. So nice play there from AfterDark, as they'll be able to find that one. But that was a very interesting strategy coming in there from Projekt Evil. They send all 3 teammates toward the opposite site. They send the bomb carrier by his lonesome to try and make something happen. The bait works out. The bomb goes down. But unfortunately for them, the round is not going to happen in that particular play. So with that, we'll load in here to round number 2. Question is, Show Off, you got the sniper rifle? You do. He's ready to show off for us. And I will give him that opportunity. Longbow in hand. And my goodness, Show Off. Beautiful shot there on Durpin. Completely makes him pay for that. Durpin's going to remember that throughout the rest of the game. As an immediate 2v4 will go down. Praxstyle says, you know what, the bomb's important, but the kills are more. Hugs, Praxi, Impulse, all going big, but it's not going to matter. AfterDark storm onto the site. The beautiful sniper play from Show Off definitely gives them the momentum that they needed. As you're going to see Crazy. Nice E-Rad shots from long range. Doesn't even make it look like a sub at that particular point, as he'll be able to solidify that round for them. So AfterDark, after a slow start in that hard point, they were able to take the lead, but it took them a while, so they're obviously trying to ride off of that momentum in some cases. Show Off will continue to have that sniper rifle in play. Only player watching over toward that B side, and he is going to see that nade, so most likely now going to call it to his teammates. You might see those red arrows start to shift over here toward that opposite site. 1 player going to be there. That's actually me, Praxstyle. MV4, not the best gun to have at that range. Tempo will make him pay for it. Tempo will find 2 of those. 2 versus 4, a retake for AfterDark. This is not looking good for them, but can they make it happen? Crazy finds 1, can't find the second. And Oni, and all to do a 1 versus 3, now make it a 1 versus 2. Show Off. He picks up a K-bar, finds 1 on the wall run. He actually knows where both of these players are, but the question is, does he have enough time to defuse the bomb? And it looks like it's not going to have enough time. I don't know how he just did that off the wall run. But unfortunately, the ground is where he will reside. That's now going to be a much-needed round there for the side of Projekt Evil. As you're going to see Hugs in the final kill cam. Finding Show Off. Potential 1 versus 3 there from Show Off, but it's not going to go through. The money will slide as well. Now we'll load in here to round number 4. Tempo continuing off of that fantastic first game, went 40-25. 5-2 start here in Search and Destroy for him. As his team will be on the defensive side, making their way here toward B. And if you take a look at that mini-map, both teams on opposite sides of the map. So AfterDark definitely making a very, very good call here to go over toward that A site. And Projekt Evil, off of realizing their mistake, now going to making a full 4-man rotation, trying to retake this site and get that defuse before the 30 seconds does run out. Here comes Tempo, potentially going to use the FTL jump, but he gets met with a nade. 2 versus 4 immediately, as Hugs now wonders what just happened to my teammates, as they will immediately drop. So nice plays there coming in from the side of AfterDark, as that was a great call from them in the end. And that's the issue, right? When you're on the defensive side, you don't know where the opposition is going to be coming from. They make a big risk sending all 4 players instead of a 3-1 split. And they're going to be paying for that one in the end. So with that, AfterDark now up 3-1. Take a look at our payloads. Tempo currently with that FTL jump. Projekt on the other side with FTL jump as well. Definitely one of the fastest earning payloads in all of Infinite Warfare. Expect to see them potentially maybe even get that a second time if they use it early. The Projekt will drop immediately. Early rush happening. Show Off decides he needs to back up and he needs to try to reevaluate this one, but Impulse from behind will find 2. A flank that Projekt Evil was not expecting. And now Lipsus does have that bomb in hand. Going on a wall run. Hugs trying to watch over him as well. It looks like Hugs is trying to watch over his teammate Lisp. Getting that bomb down, but getting ready to get met with a few players. He will drop immediately. And due to realizing that Hugs has to be nearby, and they will find that one as well. The side of AfterDark getting very hype after that one. Feeling good, feeling confident. The play works out. The 2v2 clutch happens as well. Just some unfortunate timing. You obviously want to get that bomb carrier down. Get the bomb down there, obviously. And unfortunately, he will pay for that one. Projekt Evil just need to get something going. Durpin 0-4. Lisp Zeus 1-5. Lisp had a fantastic game in that hard point and is yet to find a second kill here. But he'll be able to do at least that off the start. Finds the long range one and will back up. AfterDark now in a 3 versus 4 situation. This is not looking good. Bomb is down immediately. As Prazy and Impulse will combine for 2. Another clutch in our midst. Prazy decides to try and make do. And surely Prazy would have called out. There's 2 players looking at him, but either way, Impulse making sure that a flank does not happen. They're only aware of 1 player's position. It won't work out for them. Hugs finds 1. Give me another one, but no, not going to happen. AfterDark, round after round after round, will win these crucial gunfights. As let's take a look here at this final engagement. Yet again, a 2 versus 2, and Impulse will come out on top in that particular engagement. Nice steady shots, obviously calling out which player to shoot at. And the communication will reign true in that particular play. As AfterDark now going to be 5-1, only needs 6 to close out a Search and Destroy, as they are looking to be in prime position to force a game number 3. Projekt Evil, how do you respond? Durpin, you gotta get on the board, my friend. Things have obviously not looked good for you. Flank early coming on, Tempo finds 1. Durpin just trying to stay alive, and he's gonna drop quick. Hugs finds the Scarab. So some information earned for AfterDark. I do know that bomb is going to be in this position. You can see those red arrows essentially start to make an impact. 1 over toward the top, toward A. Just clearing out the site, making sure as Tempo completely destroys Prazy. 2 versus 3. Impulse coming, shots coming in, and just like that, Projekt Evil will win another gun engagement now this time. So back-to-back team fights. This time Projekt Evil will walk away with it. It's always nice to see what exactly happened in this particular play. Lisp Zeus, 2 kills, 2 shots. He'll take that any day of the week if he can. As Projekt Evil look to try and climb the ladder back into this one. It's not going to be easy. And maybe if Durpin can start to get things going, it could potentially provide maybe a fire underneath him to try and close out this series. And it looks like the side of Projekt Evil is going to guess right on this defensive play. Early kills going down. 2 go for AfterDark. Now it's going to be up to Lisp Zeus now all by himself. Going to be a 1 versus 3 just when his team looked to be in a prime spot This could not be good. And now he actually is going to rock the reactive armor in the situation. Wouldn't really recommend it, but Show Off is there, and that's going to do it. AfterDark are there for the response. Interesting play to rock the reactive armor, but it'll work out for them in the end. Active camo versus reactive armor. I'll pick the active camo all day. And so will Show Off, as he will find that one. So nice play there in the end from that side. So with that, guys, obviously a very interesting end to that map number 2. We've seen both Projekt Evil and AfterDark. AfterDark win that one in a very interesting fashion, winning that one 6 rounds to 2. So with that, I believe we're going to be loading in here toward Uplink on Frost. It should be a very, very interesting one, to say the least. Before we head to a quick commercial break, I obviously want to shout out some of our sponsors throughout the weekend for making this one happen. We've got AIM Controllers, Origin PC, Leveled, Acquire, and Zowie, a brand by BenQ. Massive thank you to them for making the stream happen, as well as everyone who's obviously putting in a lot of hard work. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, we've got the game number 3 in our midst. It's Projekt Evil. It's AfterDark. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone, to the Europa Games Orlando 10K, live here from the Orange County Convention Center. We've got a fantastic series currently going to a map number 3 between Projekt Evil and Team AfterDark. We've seen some pretty interesting gameplay up to this point. First hardpoint went 250 to 213 in favor of Projekt Evil. And if you just watched that last Search and Destroy, we saw a pretty close matchup for the most part, but a 6-2 victory for the side of AfterDark. So one team looking strong in the respawns, one team looking strong when it comes in to Search and Destroy uplink. When both of those start to combine, we see Slang, along with a lot of communication, wins you an uplink matchup. So both these teams are looking good at one of those categories, but which one will take the pie is the question. So let's hop in here toward our map number 3. We're getting a little bit cold here. We're going over toward Frost for some uplink, aka some Call of Duty basketball, as I like to call it, as we're looking to see what both teams are going to be rocking. Expect to see quite a few E-Rats. Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. We even see 8 E-Rats at a time, maybe even some Evos as well. Not a gun you're going to see very often, but a lot of the assault rifle players feel more at home when it comes down to this particular weapon. Tempo also rocking the E-Rad, but for the side of AfterDark, Prazy rocking E-Rad, Impulse, K-Bar, MV4, and K-Bar. So AfterDark, they need to go with more of an assault rifle approach, maybe like prefer those long-distance gunfights. But Projekt Evil wants to be all up close and personal, as Hugs, symbolizing what exactly he wants to make at this tournament. Wanting to make some cash. So as the final time will start to tick down, we'll have to see who will walk away with this victory. Winner of this match will move on in the winner's bracket. Loser goes down to the loser's bracket. Winner of this match will also face off against Cutting Edge, I believe, in our next series, in our winners round 3. And it looks like Hugs going a little bit of a wall run to start us off here, as he's going to be making his way toward blue for a moment. A few players starting to drop in. Crazy already has that drone in his hands, making his way over here toward Robots through that ship side. And it looks like he can actually go for an early one-point toss. Drone in his hands, wants to go for the dunk, and one player isn't even aware of his position, as that's going to be a nice early play coming in from AfterDark. They completely bait through middle, and that player has the easiest route I've ever seen. Projekt Evil have got to be able to improve on their communication, because that is not a good sign if you are a fan of that team. So as we begin to reset, more gunfights happening over toward that drone. Impulse trying to fire a few shots toward the side. Somehow finds a headshot throughout most of that, as Impulse will be a hand in one of those. Drone advancing for the red squad, aka AfterDark. Impulse currently sitting inside of Dark. Tosses the drone up, and the one-point toss nearly goes through despite Hugs finding a 2-piece. The block is not going to be there. So an early 2-possession advantage for the side of AfterDark, and we're not even really a minute and a half into this one. Things looking solid for AfterDark for the most part. Shots coming in from Tempo, and he's not going to be able to find any of those. No shots home and no kill either. Hugs finding a few toward middle. Give me one. He wants another one despite the drone armor. He'll be able to find that gunfight in the end, and trying to advance his position, trying to wait for his teammates to spawn up and join him. But unfortunately, he's not going to be able to find that. 3 go down for Projekt. Durpin is here. Decides to back up toward that ice tunnel side. Erad versus Erad. Who will win this battle? Durpin did not have the best start in that last match. Finished 0-7. Fortunately, he did rocket James Bond there. However, Hugs, the drone in his hand. Now Projekt Evil have an opportunity to potentially make somewhat of an impact, pushing their way through blue. This is not going to be an easy shot to go through, and They're going to go through no man's land. No one's staying alive. And now AfterDark have the drone back in their possession as Impulse is going to fire that one forward. Expect to see the drone tossed down quite a bit as both these teams just try to force their gunfights forward. Drone gets tossed over toward Dark, and Projekt is here. Thankfully, that drone armor is going to keep him alive, but he actually misses the toss. Unfortunate miss there for AfterDark. Kind of a shifty shot, but in the end, the wall run not going to pay off for them. Show off, yet again, doing what his name suggests. Rocking on a wall run. He's on a 5 spree. And he has a perfect line of sight over every member of Projekt Evil. Thankfully for Projekt Evil, they'll shut him down pretty quick. That's a nice line sight for people at home or even people even here in the venue. Lisp in the side of blue has one teammate to watch over him. Can he go for the 1-point toss? That one's going to fire through. So a much-needed score there for the side of Projekt. It took him a little bit of time. It took him about 3 minutes to get a point on the board. But it is a point nonetheless. 2 points, 1 possession advantage. As 3 go down quick for AfterDark, practice style. Realizing such to throw that drone down. A risky wall run attempt there from Crazy, but it'll obviously make it work. Going on these wall runs could definitely make you have an easy opportunity to pinch. Give me 1, give me 2, says Crazy. 3 will go down for Projekt Evil. This is now an opportunity for AfterDark to try and solidify somewhat of a lead after these first 5 minutes. If you're new to Uplink, we play 2 halves of 5 minutes. Both teams will be able to have a scoring opportunity on both sides. If we have a tie, we'll go to a shot clock. We'll go to a timer. Looking over at Show Off now. Has 3 lead blockers. This should definitely be at least a 1, but he wants all 2. Despite the nades coming in, the 2-point dunk will come through. And a beautiful push there for AfterDark, but the overextension could potentially be in play. Impulse being a little bit too hyper-aggressive is going to drop. So despite the 2-point play coming in, this could be now Projekt Evil's opportunity to get back on the board. 2 dunks to bring this one to a tie game. As 3 start to go down for AfterDark. Another scoring opportunity now for Projekt Evil. Lisp wants to go for the dunk. Another nade, same situation, same play happens as a dunk will come in response from the side of Projekt Evil. 28 seconds remain in our first half of 5 minutes. And Hugs still trying to gain some information for his team right now. Currently sitting inside a ship. Is that drone getting ready to come down? Nice shots coming in. Projekt Evil trying to go for potential buzzer beater here. As Hugs doing it all for his squad. Finds Show Off, finds another. And Tempo after that could try to go for the last second opportunity. No one's going to be here potentially for the stop. Goes for the toss. That one's going to fire through. So a buzzer beater at the end as the drone will go toward the skies. It's now going to be a 1-point advantage heading into our next set of 5 minutes. Final shots there, Impulse. Despite the 2-point play, the suicide 1-pointer will go through. Would have been a fantastic play had he gotten the stop. But he's not able to do absolutely everything for his team in that particular situation. So a 1-point advantage after our first half. We'll see how the side of Projekt Evil can respond. If you're just joining us or maybe just joined the crowd, this is our last map in this series. We're playing best of 3, so Uplink will be our last map set of this particular series, as well as the rest of our series going on for now. Winner stays in the winner's bracket, loser goes to the loser's bracket. As practice style combines for a few. He'll say, give me 3. As now it's Impulse's chance to try and toss that drone forward. Practice style continuing to go on a spree and give me 2 more. 5 found for Practice style. He's got the FTL jump to work with as 3 go down for Projekt Evil. Not a whole lot looking good for them, but they need to grab the drone. Practice style, he made a fantastic play, but no one has the drone in their hands. Crazy has to wrap back for that. So despite them having a fantastic momentum of kills, it's not no points are going to come from it. So Projekt Evil definitely getting a blessing in disguise. One player coming from behind as Lisp is trying to stay up, resets that drone armor. Potentially go for the 1-point toss. One player right next to him. And can the toss go forward? It's not going to be home, at least for now. Who's going to be there for the rebound? It looks like Lisp will get that one for the time. Drone still down. Give me 1. Hugs not able to find that one. Kill still continuing to happen. Who's got the drone in their hands? Tempo does, and he'll be able to find the dunk with that. So Projekt Evil will get the dunk, and now they have the lead. Still plenty of time to work with for either of these squads. As Tempo sitting in the enemy spawn, this is a position where he could definitely do a lot of damage. And even if he doesn't find any kills, just the knowledge of clunging that to his teammates could be big. A little bit of tennis back and forth. This practice style will make him pay. Give me 3. He will drop. Hugs. Finds a 3 of his own inside of blue. He wants all 4, but his teammate will wrap that one out. Now here, Projekt Evil. They have an opportunity to make a rush here toward this robot side. Hugs is 22 and 16. Shuts down the Scarab. He's hitting absolutely everything at this point. Give me another one. Lispzeus now has the opportunity. Hugs makes the play happen. Completely breaks open the setup of AfterDark. As now their base is completely wide open. They've got to shut down Hugs in this power position. 25 points away from some score streaks. That would be disastrous if you're the side of AfterDark. As Impulse tries to escape with that drone. It looks like they might actually have an opportunity to make this drone happen. Hugs on a 7 spree, continuing to destroy. Listen, that drone has been pushed forward. They do reset. He's got the bombardment. He's got the Scorchers. He actually is getting close to that Paladin as well. Switch over to Zeus really quick. Let's get an eye for him as he's going to have that drone in his hands. Hugs just watching every angle, trying to be aware as setup is broken. They're actually going to go for the fake, and the crossover will work out for them. The 1-point toss coming in from Projekt Evil will now award them an 8-5 advantage. 3 points separating these two teams as Hugs has officially earned the Warden. 27 and 18. If you're AfterDark, you are hoping to earn these payloads quick. You want to use those active camo and those overdrive abilities as fast as you can, as the 1-point toss will somehow happen for Prazy. Looks like a teammate coming in there. Park style waiting. Close quarter engagement. He's not going to win that one. Communication at an all-time high. Neither of these teams want to be placed in the losers bracket, as all 4 players from Projekt Evil do have their payloads. This is not looking good. If they can combine a few of these, active camo gets rocked. And this is going to be a 2-point dunk all day long. 4-point advantage for Projekt Evil, as they are finding potentially another. Hugs will drop. Zeus is there. He will fall as well. If you're AfterDark, you've got to get a scoring opportunity quick, as Impulse will drop from behind. It's a big kill coming in there from Durpin, but 3 combined. Practice Style gets 2. Prazy finds another. And now Showoff has got to maybe use his active camo for a 2-point play, but he's by himself. Does he go for the melee? He tries to at least get past the player. That's how good active camo can be, but he gets stopped. He'll get the toss regardless, receiving the 2-point play. He actually ends up running into a player, which delays the score from happening. But regardless, they'll get it in the end. Drone grab for Prazy. He does have overdrive. This is a huge moment in the game. This is nearly a guaranteed scoring opportunity. If they can continue to go off, he might go on the wall run, but he gets shut down. Tempo now has the drone in his hands. He'll toss that one off the map, so that one will be reset. If you're AfterDark, you need to get that drone in Prazy's hands. But where is he? He rocks the overdrive. This is the opportunity to do it, but player is there to meet him. Zeus will find that one. Just toss the drone forward, my friend. Rocks the reactive armor. Only 5 seconds left. Tempo, you've got to get the 2-point play forward, but he only doesn't have time for it. The 1-point toss isn't going to matter. The Projekt Evil squad will close this one out in a close fashion. 11-8 will be the final score in this uplink, as Projekt Evil will move on. Fantastic plays, an incredible map 3 that we ended up witnessing, obviously. I mean, up to this point, and this is to be fair, it was not looking good after that first map. We ended up seeing, what was it? We ended up seeing Projekt Evil dominate pretty much, winning that one 250-213. AfterDark looked very solid when it came down to that search and destroy, but in the end, the respawns definitely reigned true for that squad. So major congratulations to obviously the guys of Projekt Evil for walking away with that one. But action will continue. That's not our only series that we have going on. It was a very interesting one, to say the least. But, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, I believe we're going to have Cutting Edge actually going up against Projekt Evil. We'll obviously receive word to make sure that is going to happen once we do come back. But, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be right back here from Europa Games Orlando. We'll be back.